Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Naked Truth Report. I'm your host, Kathleen Wells, and I'm glad you joined me. So I'm waiting for my guests. I don't want to say who they are yet. I'm hoping they call in soon, but I just want to talk a little bit and say that I was listening to the program right before us. I think it was a re-airing of Jay Sekulo's show. Yeah, that was it, right? And they were talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her green plan. I think everyone is talking about that because it's so far-fetched. It's so unreasonable. It's so out of bounds that everyone is talking about it, either to laugh. I mean, that we're perplexed. It's like, on the one hand, it's like you got to take it seriously. Why? Because Kamala Harris, who announced her presidency, and Elizabeth Warren, who also announced, and Cory Booker and Kristen Gillibrand, these folks announced that they have endorsed this new green plan. I think, this is like, so it's like, what? What are the Democrats what are they doing? I'm saying that the Democrats are going to self-employed. Is that self-employed? Self-employed. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Implode. I know, sometimes you can't, you're saying it wrong, but you can't get on to say it right. But anyway, self-employed. Implode. What is it? I don't even want to for some reason I can't think. I know how to spell it though. But so anyway, they're gonna internally combust. How does that sound? The Democrat Party is gonna internally combust because why? Because they're taking identity politics to absurd conclusions. Every single identity is gonna be vying for their interests. That's something that Ian Henderson, who was on 2 weeks ago, talked about. Every single identity they're going to be competing and conflicting interests, competing and conflicting. In fact, I saw a thing on Facebook where where was the guy? He was out of the Bronx. A Black man was complaining that the city council in Brooklyn was like a homosexual agenda. Do you see those two identities competing and conflicting? So, I mean, and then you're going to have midgets and Eskimos and transgenders and everybody competing. Bisexuals. In fact, I think one of the congresswomen, is it the one from Arizona that said that she's a bisexual? So everyone has their interests. And, and this is what politics is about. And this is what a lot of Black Americans don't realize. Because folks like Obama and I heard Cory Booker say that. It's like when you ask, well, what about the Black agenda? What about the interest of Black Americans? Because, believe it or not, Black Americans have sustained the Democratic Party for 5 decades. But for our votes, Republicans would be winning all this time. If Black folks didn't vote for the last 5 decades, Democrats would not be winning. Do we all realize that? Say yes, yes. Democrats would not be winning, but for Black Americans' votes. So the issue is this: why have we been voting for them? And yet in 2053, we're going to be at zero median wealth, right? Wait, I'm looking on my live stream. Oh, wait. Live chat. I want to do that. Okay. Also, I want to let folks know that you can go to, I didn't do this the last time. You can go to the nakedtruthreport.com. I think Kevin, my engineer, he usually puts it on my website, but he may not. I'm not sure. But you can also go to the Naked Truth Report YouTube channel and see me in studio. Hello? Yeah. And also you can go to the Facebook page. Oh, in fact, let me share this. These are like housewarming things. Is it housewarming I say, or housewarming? Yeah, is it housewarming? Kevin, you're not Kevin, you're Kevin. Everyone here is named Kevin. No, Kevin is the other guy that helps me. Yeah, they're like a lot of Kevins. But anyway, oh, they're here? My screen isn't working? Oh, they're on hold. Oh, my guests are on hold, and I was just chatting away. But I'm so excited. I'm going to get straight to my guests because they're so punctual. And I love it. I'm delighted. I'm delighted to have these ladies as my guests. Diamond and Silk, welcome to the Naked Truth Report.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy to have you. I know that you guys have been Trump supporters from the get-go, from the beginning. When in fact, when he came down the elevator to announce his candidacy, you immediately were like gung ho. And so I want to say, so you've been with him, you've been a loyal, steadfast supporter, an enthusiastic and passionate supporter of President Trump. So, and I know you've been traversing like the landscape. Tell me, what is the difference that you are seeing between Black Americans with Trump 2 years ago and how it is today? How has there been some change?
Well, I'm going to tell you that I think that now you see a lot of people speaking out, Black supporters speaking out now, versus back in 2015, they were afraid because they were afraid to be ostracized, criticized, or stigmatized. So now you're starting to see a lot of African American Black people speak out. So that's good. And people liking the tax cuts. They like the fact that there's economic opportunity out here. They can go and get a good job with a good paying wage. People love that. So people like the prosperity aspect of everything. They love it.
Well, do you find, like most Black folks, most of us, why do I say, but most of us, most of my people don't understand why we should no longer vote Democrat. You want to give us like a brief summary or synopsis of why our people should no longer vote Democrat? Tell us.
Well, first of all, just because you're Black, it didn't mean you have to vote Democrat.
That's right.
That's the number one thing. Number two, you have to understand the Democrat Party and their playbook. They are truly the party of racism, the party of the KKK, the party of the Jim Crow Day, and all of these other little juicy words that you're hearing today. White supremacy, this white nationalist stuff that they've created and they've made up. They are the party of that, okay? And if the Democratic Party was such a great party, why is everybody under the Democratic Party, especially Black people, still struggling? Okay, if they was the party for the people, they're not the party for the people. They're worried about their own interests. If you look at what's happening, the president asked them to come to the table so that we can get border security. We can get money for that, which is our tax dollars. Nancy Pelosi is somewhere rubbing shoulders with the elites in Hollywood at the Grammys instead of coming to the table to negotiate on the border wall, holding our taxpayer dollars hostage. So why do we want to vote for a Democrat when they don't care about our national security? They don't care about Americans living in tents. They care more about illegal aliens than an American citizen. That's a problem for me. Now, my job is to tell everybody.
That's
so
right.
You know what's going on, and so listen to soundbite.
That's right. We have to tell you the naked, nasty truth, no matter how you think about it or feel about it.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I tell these folks in Los Angeles. Black folks in Los Angeles make up 40% of the homeless.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? We're only like 8 or 9% of the population, yet 40% of the homeless. Can you imagine?
It's so sad, but if you look at it, you have Congress approving funding for sanctuary cities, which aid and abets illegal aliens, which in turn violates our immigration laws, Title 8 Code 1324. And then what happens is they put these sanctuary cities in the hood. They don't put them in the suburbs. They put them directly in the hood. And what happened is illegal aliens run out Black folks from their own neighborhood.
Right.
And a lot of people don't see exactly how Black people, all Americans, but it severely affects Black people.
It dramatically affects us. In fact, Frederick Douglass talked about that in the 1800s. And in fact, I had the Los Angeles building inspector on the show, and he tells me that 80% of the construction jobs in Los Angeles are held by illegal aliens.
Wow, and that should not be. That should not be, because American jobs should be for the American people. Unless you got your little card to come over here and say that you can do whatever. You know how they let people
Right.
from other
The
countries
Visa
come over
cards
here,
and stuff,
your little Visa card or whatever. But seriously, it's about the American people. And when I look at the Democrat Party don't care about that. Now, let's roll back. Let's look at what's happening in Virginia. You had a man sit down, and he is okay with legalized abortion up to the birth and even after the birth of a baby, murdering a baby.
That's right.
That's up under the Democrat Party. Well, you know, as black folks, we were raised in the church, and the Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." Okay, so you know, so that rubs us the wrong way. And then when he didn't apologize for that, somebody got mad, and then they outed him with this little yearbook. Okay, somebody dressed in blackface and somebody dressed in a Klansman. He came out and he apologized for it as if it was him. The next day, oh, it's not me. Now he's saying he don't want to step down, and it looks like everything has ricocheted to the lieutenant governor when they about to play this game where now he's a sexual assaulter, an alleged sexual assaulter or a sexual abuser. You see what I'm talking about? These are the games that the Democrat play. They eat their own.
That's right.
And if you are a Democrat, why would you want to vote for somebody that will not give you due process, that can take and accuse you of something, and they don't know if you ain't been found guilty of it? See, the one thing is we are a republic governed by laws, constitutional laws. You are innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around, but not with the Democrats. See, when you look at the games and the trickery that they're playing and how they're trying to take down this black lieutenant governor with accusations and allegations because he haven't been found guilty, that's wrong.
That's right.
But you know what? I feel like, okay, yeah, the Democrats always have a trick up their sleeve. That's the whole point. And, you know, they use word games and they manipulate terms and so on and so forth. And, you know, I've just been reading recently about the 25 famous quotes from Margaret Sanger. She, you know, she said, we want to get rid of the Negro race. So you know how many babies have been aborted by black folks, by us. Yeah.
Probably up in the millions.
Right, exactly.
Fooling with Margaret Sanger. But isn't that the one that I heard, and it has been alleged that Hillary Clinton praised her?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, and I heard, according to, I'm looking at her face and can't call her name right off the bat. She's Martin Luther King's niece.
Oh,
I think she was on one of the programs, and she was
Alveda King.
Alveda King. She was talking about how it was alleged that Margaret Sanger was working with the KKK.
Exactly.
The KKK.
Yeah.
Right. So that they can exterminate black babies.
Right. They said we want to get rid of the Negro race.
Black people.
Exactly. So everything, you know, we got to get more of us off this Democratic Party. That's what the walkaway movement was about, Brexit, all that. We got to get more. And I'm glad to see women. You guys were the first. You earned that, you know, that mantle of being the first.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You have, you know, and I know you got a lot of flack from that, from our people for being the first.
But you know what? The more they hate, the more we continue to educate.
That's right.
We have to let people know you can no longer vote for a system that kept handing you crumbs.
That's right.
And that's what the Democrat Party do. You know, you had Obama. He was the first black president.
Right.
He gets in. He do nothing for black people. He wouldn't even mention African American or say anything about black. But now you have the businessman that's in office. He's making sure that you're going to get a second chance. He's changing the justice system. He's making sure you're going to get a good job. And for those of you all that's under the sound of my voice, if you don't have a job, the president has created 5 million. Go get you one.
Now, wasn't it State of the Union? It was fantastic.
It was beautiful. I was sitting right there in the chamber, in the gallery.
Oh, how
when
exciting!
It was all going on, and you should have saw the state of the Democrat Party.
You know, weren't there? I mean, all those women in white. You know.
Listen, the only thing that was missing was the white husband. To me, but you know what?
What?
I think, in fairness to the Democrat wearing white, I think they did that because of suffrage or women's suffrage.
Right.
I'm thinking. I hope it wasn't in protest.
But you got to remember that even though they did that, it was the Democrats that fought against civil rights. It was the Democrats that fought against people being free from slavery. It was the Democrats that fought against people getting their voting rights and different things. The Democrat Party did not vote for none of that. The Democrat Party wanted to keep people in slavery.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of people think that it was the Republicans that wanted to keep people in slavery. No, it was the Democrat parties. The Republicans fought to free the slaves.
Right. And in fact, another point is that the suffragettes were very angry that black men got the right to vote. See, so that's amazing that those Democrat women, those how many women all in white were, are happy that that there was the suffragette movements, but the suffragette movement, they were pissed that black men got the right to vote before them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you saw how they was acting when they mentioned how many women were in Congress.
Right.
They were all just so praising themselves.
Right.
But they don't do anything for Americans. They're playing politics. We have to understand that they're playing games. And when they start playing politics, what you're doing is you're playing with American lives. And you're playing with American tax dollars.
Right.
So you have to understand that. Another thing we notice about Congress, they go in poor and come out rich.
Right.
Because Nancy Pelosi is worth $120 million according to Google. So if Elizabeth Warren would like to go ahead on and tax some people, you can start with Nancy Pelosi.
Right. And in fact,
what you need to do.
Yeah, and like their salaries, like something like $178,000 a year. In fact, and yet they all come out millionaires.
There you go. That's right.
But yet they want to tax the wealthy. And what people are failing to realize, if somebody got $1 million and you pay 70% up to the government, that's $700,000. Only going to leave you left over with $300,000. How you going to pay your workers?
Because if you are a millionaire, that means you are a job creator.
That's right.
You can't be millionaire status without. So somebody got to count the money. The deal is that you would think that Congress will have enough common sense of these ones that's pushing these tax cuts. These tax hikes on the rich. You would think they would say, "Wait a minute, well, you all can pass that down to your employees,
right?"
Instead of the government taking that. Listen, when you look at even with the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah. She's pushing this Green New Deal.
Right.
It should be a no deal because it's a raw deal for Americans. It's going to push us back into slavery because what she's offering is socialism. Where she talk about how if we're going to give you a job, whether you willing or if you want to work, willing or want to work, what you think? So what you said now, you're going to let this thing go with people, I have a choice now. If you are able-bodied and you're not on no type of disability, you're able to get out of work, then you need to have a job. It shouldn't be if you're willing to work. It's when you get old enough, you got to go to work.
When your body is able, that's right.
Well, and communism is the next step after socialism. So now after what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that we can't have steak. We can't. Oh, and they're going to plant some trees. She had a plan up on her. I just heard this on the show prior to mine. She had a plan up on her website, but they took it down because she was being so ridiculed about it.
Well, first of all, okay, but it doesn't make any sense. Right. You want to get rid of the cows? Listen, we got to eat steak. You want to get rid of the airplanes? Well, how do you propose that we get to Hawaii? Only by boats? So we got to take us a couple of days to get there, or what? Just think about what she's proposing. We got to tear down our houses and rebuild them back up.
Right. So they want to retrofit.
What am I going to say when that happens?
And it's all going to happen within 10 years.
Right. Okay. So now you finna tag all of this money onto the deficit. You cannot rob Peter to pay Paul.
That's right.
You cannot do that. And this is the ways to control us. You want to control our education. You want to control what type of wage we make. You want to control our medical so you can determine when we live and when we die. That's what you're trying to do. And absolutely not. That's going to push us back to the Jim Crow days.
That's
push
right.
us back to sharecropping, push us back to slavery. And it's going to be two types of people, the poor and the poorer. Because the ones that's going to make out rich, they're going to send their money overseas, offshore, somewhere. So they'll still have their money while we sitting up here struggling.
And they'll take their jobs overseas as well. And if they tax the wealthy at 70%, then they're going to tax the middle class at 69.9%.
And the reason why they want everybody walking around here poor so that we can ostracize and criticize the rich. So when you hear them say, we got to tax the rich, so the poor people can be like, well, that's right, we got to tax the rich because they making all of this money. No, you're supposed to be able to attain the American dream because this is America. You're supposed to be able to pull yourself up by your bootstrap, not somebody take them straps and tie your hands behind your back because they feel like you done made $1 too much. Oh, it's an absolute unequivocally no for me. Leave rich people alone. They are the job creators in this country, because if you get rid of their money and you take their money and rob them, then we're going to lose, everybody going to lose their jobs.
That's right.
Well,
they won't be able to employ people.
Well, there won't be any taxes. And when the thing of it is, when there was that high tax rate at 90%, the rich people who were wealthy people were able to have loopholes. They never paid the 90%. You see what I'm saying? They had tax loophole. So it's, there's one thing of theory, and then there's another thing of practice when you put things into practice. And you see that, I always say you can use Black America as an example of the failure of the Democratic Party, because we're still
look around. Look around and then look at the mindsets. Look at the mindset.
Right.
When I see some people in Black America, and when they say derogatory things about the president because they've been listening to the left-wing media or listening to sound bites, that makes me cringe sometimes. Because some people you can take them out the box, but some they're gonna always want to be in the box and wallow like that because they're not. This is just what they want to do. Some people want to listen. They want to be better. They want to do better. But some people, you're going to have some that's not going to want to do that. But it's time for not just Black America, all America. Yeah. Because the one thing I don't like to do is play identity politics. And when I speak as an America for Americans. And I don't care if you're Black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you are Hispanic. I speak for anybody that feel like they don't have a voice or they can't speak up. So I have to speak out. Listen, this is wrong. That's wrong. This is going to severely affect America this way or that way. So I don't like to play identity politics. What I like to do is talk about that we are American. And I don't like to use that word minority.
I don't use the word minority.
We're part of the majority. We're Americans.
But I do talk about Black America on this show because we're devastated. Okay, we're going to be at zero median wealth by 2053, and I feel no one has talked about us, and that's the problem. So on this show,
nothing wrong with doing that at all. Yeah, but if I could just piggy off of something that Diamond just said.
Okay.
Why is it that Black people feel like they need Black leaders to lead and guide them when they have a mind of their own? They should be able to think for themselves.
Right.
That's right.
Look at how people have been cleverly
they've used it.
With this ideology that you got to have somebody to lead and guide you because you can't do it for yourself.
Right.
And so when you do that, then that's where you get your Al Sharptons and your Jesse Jacksons and so forth, these so-called Black leaders that want you to think you got to come through me in order to get here. But they've been doing the same thing for all of these years, and name one thing that they've done for the benefit of Black folk.
Right.
Right. I mean, we're at listen, it's like, why do we have more poverty? When we had LBJ's poverty program, we've spent $3.2 trillion on poverty. And we have more poor folks. Like I said, we're 40% of the homeless. In fact, in Los Angeles, homelessness increased by 75% over the last 6 years. So, Democrats keep reinventing themselves and accomplishing nothing.
There you go. And then they tell you lies.
Yep.
And that's why I'm looking at everybody that's now running for president who cannot beat President Trump, but I'm just watching them. I'm looking now. Here, these are congressmen, congresswomen, and senators. They need to be doing their job. We're not paying them to run for president. Why are we still paying them taxpayer dollars and they out there running for president? We didn't pay them to run. We paid them our tax money to work, and that's what they need to be up there in Congress doing, working instead of running for president. So I'm appalled by that too.
Yeah, and you see this latest thing is like, okay, we want the wall. They're supposed to be negotiating it, and now there's like a snafu. It may not, the negotiations may not go through, may not happen because now the Democrats want to decrease the number of ICE detention beds.
Okay, Okay, but you know it's a setup.
I know.
And the games is what they're playing.
It's games.
So what they're trying to do is reduce the number of beds, and then you will have to let these people out and let them get into our society. You have to release them into the United States of America, and they flow into our society, which is so unfair and unfortunate because now we don't know who's walking amongst us.
That's right.
And you know they're not going to show up for their court date.
Right.
Those are the loopholes that they take advantage of in our system. But this is what Congress put in the loopholes. But here's the deal. They are aiding and abating these people when you allow them to come in, when you provide them sanctuary cities and all of this here other foolishness.
Yeah.
They the one aiding and abating them according to our immigration and nationality law.
And why are they advocating for illegals to break the law? Why aren't they advocating for illegals to go to the port of entry? You as an American citizen, especially a black person, as an American citizen, when you break the laws over here in America, they only give you 3 hots and a cot behind a locked cell block after you've taken your mud shot, and your child can't be in that same block with you.
It's going to be left out.
And that's how it is for Americans. So how is it that an illegal alien can cross our borders and commit their first crime when they cross that border illegally?
Exactly. Hey, there's my music silk. There's my music silk. Hey, can you stay with us? We will get, and you want to take a few phone calls? Do you have time?
We'll make time for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to take a break. There's my sponsor, John and Bo, the country duo. We're going to take a break. I'm speaking with Diamond and Silk, these fabulous ladies. We've been loving them since day one, right, folks? Call into the station if you want to give them a shout out, and we'll be right back. This is the Naked Truth Report. I'm Kathleen Wells, your host. Thanks. Oh, I can't take phone calls.
Well, yeah, you can, but like it's not configured right.
Huh? Oh, wait, I can't hear what you're saying. I'm so glad they called in. They're so vibrant. Huh?
I know.
I don't have to think much. Oh, great. Oh. But will you be able to know in there?
So I can see in there. For some reason, you couldn't see it here.
I know. So you can just tell me.
That's true too.
I guess. But no, we can get it up. That's
if I could find a way to get it fixed,
Thank you, Jeff. Everyone's name is Jeff. I know. No, I mean Kevin. Right. Oh, right. Because then, but the guy that like is helping me sponsor, he's Kevin. And then there's another Kevin that it's like, yes, it's a great name. Oh, I got a call already. Thank you, Kevin. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm delighted to have the lovely ladies, Diamond and Silk, on the Naked Truth Report. This is so fantastic. They've been steadfast, passionate supporters of President Trump since day one. Some of us came on a little later, but we know that Diamond and Silk are like the ladies that knew the score back at day one when it all started, that Trump was the man and he's going to make it happen. So why don't we take a call now from Mike in El Segundo. Hi, Mike.
So nice to talk to you. I have 3 quick points to make. One is that I avoid using the term African American. The Democrats love that term because it's part of divide and conquer. So I believe that after at least 15 or more generations in America and 300 years in America, that our fellow Americans of African descent have earned the right to be called unqualified Americans. My mom escaped from communist Russia, and my dad's parents came here from Russia. Nobody calls me Russian American. So that's my first point. My second point is if you go to the Democratic National Committee's official website, they segregated their website by race, by gender, sexual orientation, class, you name it. The Democrat Party's always been dividing and conquering. They're trying to divide and conquer America today. And my third point has to do with this notion, the Democratic Party, that blacks are too incompetent to think and vote for themselves. They need Democrat black leaders to tell them how to think and vote. I think I know where that may have come from. At least I found an early example of that back in 1939. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, who was herself a racist, and as you know, she founded Planned Parenthood for eugenics to reduce the birth rate of blacks whom she viewed as inferior. There was a letter from Margaret Sanger written in 1939.
Oh, I know. Listen, Mike, I've already talked about that. Let me, let me
just make that point about that. The idea was to use a black preacher to convince blacks, or they call them Negroes back then, that Planned Parenthood, or back then it was called by a different name, but that Margaret Sanger was not out to exterminate the Negro people. Then they would hire a black preacher to convince blacks.
Okay, listen, Mike, I know the history, right? Anyway, we lost Diamond and Silk. Can you call back? If you're listening, Diamond and Silk, can you call back? We accidentally cut you off. Can you call back, please? But what I want to say to you, Mike, is this. I talk about Black America. The only identity, this is the position I take on my show. The only identities that matter are Black Americans and white Americans. Black Americans have been in this country 400 years. And we're going to be at zero median wealth by 2053. No one else is talking about it but me and maybe a few other folks. Our Black politicians do not have our self-interest. We're 40% of the homeless. We've been in this country 400 years and no one is going to talk about Black America. Well, I'm going to talk about Black America. That's the only identities that matter. Like I said last week on the show, Black Americans have been here since the founding of the country. And we're getting ready to be zero median wealth. No one talks about that. White American and Black Americans built this country. Now, the other identities don't matter, no. But Black Americans matter and white Americans matter. And I'm going to talk about Black Americans. That's just the bottom line. That I've taken this position from day one. Okay, now I have Diamond and Silk back. And I want to hear from Romeo in South Central. Hi, Romeo.
How you doing, Miss? How you doing, Kathleen?
I'm great. Thank you.
I just wanted to congratulate you and let you know how much you are appreciated by not just the a lot of people out here in South Central. They have the utmost and esteem, respect for you, and I just want you to know that because we talk about you like on a day-to-day basis, from the Merck Park to Compton to Linwood. And it's resonating with the people, what you're saying,
Okay, Romeo, do you have a question for Diamond and Silk? I got them back on the line.
Yeah, I do. I didn't even know. I thought you had lost them.
Yeah, I got them back on the line.
Hey, I don't know where they, I just started kind of like getting up on Diamond and Silk, because I've been on YouTube. But I just want to let them sisters know, and YouTube, that, y'all blessed. To see some strong sisters up there, y'all blessed. And I appreciate y'all. And there's other brothers out here. And I done been to the penitentiary, I done gangbang. I've been an avid listener of your show. And, and I just want y'all to know it's resonating with Black men like us, It's resonating. Queens, real queens,
Thank you so much.
It's resonating with us. We love y'all.
Oh, thank you very much.
Love y'all more.
Okay, now we're going to take Ray in Inglewood. You have a question for Diamond and Silk, Ray?
Actually, how you doing, ladies? Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really just wanted to pass on some incredible factual information that seems to go over everyone's head. Let's just talk about the Democrat Party from its founder in 36. Mm-hmm. It was founded by a fellow named Andrew Jackson. Mm-hmm. Fact. He formed that party for, number one, the expansion and guarantee of chattel slavery in America. Number two, the Indian problem. Just think, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, but I want you to ask Diamond, Ray, I want you to ask Diamond and Silk a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Ladies, how come you ladies haven't been espousing what the Democrat Party really is? We're still in the Civil War. They just called time out in 1865.
I've been telling people since 2015 what the Democrat Party represents. We already know that it's the party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow, the party of KKK. Every time I'm on Fox almost every week. I try to make it known about the Democrat Party. Yeah. They don't give a 2 cents about black
Let me pass this information on to you. It was also created so that they could either by hook or force or crook take the territories from west of the Louisiana Purchase. That's right. They took it from the Mexicans by force. And now you got all these Mexicans who going to vote for them.
Okay, Ray, thank you. Now we're going to take a call from Morris in Studio City. Hi, Morris. Do you have a question for Diamond and Silk?
Yes. Well, you know, this business I'm hearing about socialism, apparently I was illegally here.
Hey, you guys, I want you guys to ask Diamond and Silk a question. Okay. You guys have you're like, oh, you know, you have a narrative. Ask a question, please.
All right. Why is Bernie Sanders and the rest of these people who are running, politicians that are running for president, all want socialism, you know, and give the handout to all the people that should be out there working?
Okay, well, they do that. Let me tell you why they do that. They do that to garner votes. They think that people are so ignorant that they will prefer a handout instead of a hand up. They actually do that. Mm-hmm. They feel that. So that's why they offer you the stuff. Remember when Obama was in office? He gave you an Obama phone, a few food stamps, told you to have a Coke and a smile and a nice day. He didn't create opportunities. As a matter of fact, he was getting ready to sign TPP into law to ship more jobs overseas because they have to continue to get their kickback paddywhack. Another thing is the reason why they give you handouts is to control you. See, if they can make you poor and control you, then they can rule you. You see what I'm talking about? If they can make you poor, then they can have you complaining that the rich ain't no good, the rich is this, but you can also obtain the same American dream.
They just basically found another way to hoodwink America, especially Black America, for votes. Because for so long, we all have been ignorant to the fact that the Democrat parties have done absolutely nothing for us. What they've done is sold us a bag of lies and made us empty promises. And it's time now for us to wake up. Now that we have awakened to this politic game, now that you see the game, now you got to vote your best interest. And I'm sorry, Democrats, it's not your best interest.
That's right.
You're absolutely correct. I do believe in what Donald Trump stands for, even though I cannot vote. You know, I do strongly.
Well, then why don't you get legal? What do you mean you can't vote? Are you here illegally?
I was.
Well, have you tried? Have you did everything that you're supposed to do to get legal?
I got my green card January of last year, a year ago. I got my green card, and then I had to pay quite a bit of fines to Social Security and to Homeland Security and Immigration Customs Enforcement, ICE. And once I paid all the penalties, then Social Security backdated my Medicare card for me, which is good. I'm still suspended. But I did come here legally, and when I didn't take care of the paperwork as required, I became...
Wait, Morris, you came here illegally?
Can I ask him a question? Can I ask him a quick question? With everything that you just gone through and just said to us, how do you feel about illegals just coming across the border illegally?
Absolutely not, because it took me many years of my family, of course, my parents to come here legally to America. We didn't come just like that. And we have to go through all kind of physicals and, you know, to make sure we're healthy. We don't carry any kind of communicable diseases or anything related to that. And I worked hard all my life. Nothing came
You worked hard.
You know,
well, God bless you. You make sure that you keep being perseverance and standing strong and do the right thing. Do it the right way. Don't break the laws. Do it the right way, and God will bless you further.
And can I just say this here one thing? We want people to come. We just want you to do it the right way.
The right way.
That's all. Because us as American, and now you are an American, us, if you are already legalized, that means you are an American. You can't just go into somebody else's country and walk up and rush their borders, because then you'll be breaking their laws. So all we ask is that you get in line, you wait your turn, because when people have to pay these big penalties and their fines, and they get in line and they wait their turn to become legal, it's unfair to watch an illegal alien just come over here and we give them everything. Now, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
That I agree with. I mean, I've paid my dues. I've worked hard all my life here. Obviously, I am old enough to retire, but I can't. Not yet. Because of
but you are legal now.
Oh, yeah. I am legally here, but I cannot leave America. I'll never make it back in.
Why?
It's got to do with paper, passport, and also because I don't have a passport. And I have a green card, but I don't have a
doing it. Do it the right way.
Make sure you get all of your papers in order and everything is done the correct way.
It's all good. It all works out good. The only thing I don't like is socialism, where I work hard all my life, pay taxes, and pay a fair amount of taxes, and it goes to where? To the sky. So that's what I don't like, and that's why.
Or somebody redistributing the wealth, and while you out there working, somebody taking a cut of your money and giving it away to somebody that ain't doing nothing, so that everybody can have everything equal. Well, if you don't equally get out and do the work, then you're going to get what you get.
That's right.
Okay, Morris, thank you for calling in. Now we're going to take Dave in Orange County. Hi, Dave. You have a question for Diamond and Silk?
What a deal. Get to talk to Diamond and Silk. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. All my friends on Facebook love you.
And, we love them more. Thank you.
You know what? I just want you to keep on going, and I want to say God bless you, and the Lord protect you and be with you. And you know what? I just can't tell you how we love you. But my question is, did you get back on Facebook? And I'm going to comment about this and a question about this mantra that these Democrats keep on saying that Republicans are racist. They use it as a weapon, and they're really especially using it in the Hispanic community. And we're gaining ground here, but we're working. But my question is, did you get back on Facebook?
Well, first of all, we're still being censored on Facebook. We are on Facebook, but they're still censoring us. We have 1.8 million fans and followers, and our fans and followers do not see our content. So we're continuing to get a lot of complaints about that.
And just keep in mind that that's part of the Democrat playbook. They want to censor our voices because our narrative is not fitting their narrative. We're talking about something totally different that's eye-opening for people, and the Democrats hate that. So with us having almost 2 million followers, they are trying to continue to censor Diamond and Silk voices, but our mouths are too big. We're going to keep on talking.
And then you mentioned something. You also mentioned something about how the Democrat Party called Republican racist. Wait a minute. This is why they do that. Because the Democrat Party is the real racist. And what they try to do is they try to push it off on you.
Right.
Like, you're a Republican. Oh, well, no, you're the race. They'll say that kind of foolishness.
They call us white supremacists, and we black women.
Absolutely. So this is what they do. They play the race card, but here's what I want you to do. The more they play the race card, the more we have to continue to play the Trump card so we can win.
Well, thank you so much. And we just got to fight that mantra that they lie about. Saying Republicans are racist. We gotta have a plan. We got to keep on pushing that. The Republican Party has not been good at that in California. We've got to counter that by reaching out to Hispanics and blacks and say, we're not racist. Look here, and show how we're benefiting them. I'd like to ask you, Diamond and Silk, to join my Facebook page called CAN, CAN. It's a conservative America networking.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Dave.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dave, so much. So, Diamond and Silk, I want to ask you, when you went to Congress and you testified, I know you were being grilled or questioned by Sheila Jackson Lee.
Oh, yeah.
What came out of that?
Well, you know, they just went through the formalities. You know, we were up there about censorship. Thank God that the Republican Party invited us up there to tell our side of the story.
That's right.
But you had the Democrats like the Hakeem Jeffries, the Sheila Jacksons, and that other guy named, I'm looking at his face, Hank Johnson.
Oh,
they were up there making a spectacle out of nothing. And that's just what they do.
Yeah.
So what came out of that, pretty much, it was just, I don't know what the Democrat Party was doing. But
well, I can tell you what they were doing. See, they're not used to black folks having a seat at the table. They're used to black people being out in the street, marching, burning down their communities. But then when they happen to see two beautiful black women sitting at the table, ready to get down to business, they didn't know how to take it, and that's why they act the way they act.
And were you able to have a one-on-one with any of them?
No. As a matter of fact, now, you know, we were featured in this movie called Democrats. So while we were up there on Capitol Hill, we stopped by Maxine Waters so we could sit down and chat with her. Of course, she went somewhere ahead, honey. And she's supposed to be calling us back. According to her secretary, we still ain't got a call today. So that's just how it is. The Democrats, they don't want to work with you. Do you think they care about conservative voices being censored? Heck no. But if we were liberal black women, all chains and fences would have broke loose in this country when Mark Zuckerberg started censoring. But they don't want to hear about that. They want our voices to be silent because we're not speaking their level of whatever they speak. We're speaking something else. We're telling people to open up their minds, open up your eyes. Don't just listen to sound bites. Listen to the truth. Do your research on things before you fall for the okie doke. And we call it the Democrat okie doke.
Yeah, you know, and I stress on this show for black folks, for my people to do their research. We just have to do our research because it's not about the skin color, it's about the issues.
There you go. There you go. And the issues affect a lot of us. And in the hood, when you say the hood, you know, the hood, sometimes you have white people in the hood too.
Right.
So I just don't want to leave any of my brothers and sisters out.
And also think back to this fact that when you hear the Democrats always pushing and calling everybody a racist, what they're trying to do is keep black people stuck in the pain of their ancestors. They know if they can keep you stuck in the mindset of slavery, they can keep you government dependent and they can control you. That's why they play Roots every year. They want to keep you stuck right there like you've been out there picking cotton.
Okay,
so,
Irvin.
You know that you hadn't been out there.
Irvin, you have a quick question? Irvin?
Hi, Miss Wells, and hi, Silk and Diamond.
Hey,
quick question. Hello, ladies. One black man in the sea of liberalism out here, North Long Beach and elsewhere. Quick question. I didn't record this show, and I'm hoping that there's a podcast of this, Miss Wells or somebody, because I need to get this out. What you guys are talking about. I mean, it is right on the money.
Yeah, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. In fact, I'm live streaming right now. You can go to YouTube, the Naked Truth Report YouTube, and I'm live streaming right now, and it will automatically be saved. And then I do another upload. Okay.
Great. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
night. Darling. God bless you.
Okay, so Diamond and Silk, I really appreciate you being on the show. I love it. I'm so excited.
Thank you. And don't forget, we have our Chit Chat tour coming up. We're going to be in California in July of this year. So make sure you go to chitchattour.com and come check us out.
I will. And tell everyone else where they can hear all your Twitter page and your Facebook page. Give all that out.
Everything is Diamond and Silk. Diamond and Silk. Our website is diamondandsilk.com. Our store site is diamondandsilkstore.com. We got some little cute socks in there with Diamond and Silk, Diamond and Silk photo socks, and all kinds of little goodies in there. And Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope, Diamond and Silk, or just Google Diamond and Silk.
Oh, and please support. Hi, I call my listeners Truth Warriors and Mythbusters. Please support Diamond and Silk and check them out on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and also check out their Chit Chat tour, which will be in Los Angeles. What's the date?
Sweetie, I told you I didn't know that last thing.
Okay, that's all right.
Just go to chitchattour.com or diamondandsilk.com and click on Chit Chat Tour.
Okay, thank you very much.
In July.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to ask you to hold on a bit because I want to talk to you about a project real quick. So do you mind holding on a bit?
Okay, no, I don't. I'll hold.
Okay, thank you very much. So we're going to go to hey, what do I want to say? Thank you, Diamond and Silk, for being on the Naked Truth Report. This was a fantastic show. It was exciting that I had these famous women on my show, right, folks? So I'm going to see you next week. And what we're going to talk about next week, I'm not sure, but I know I'm attending a thing at UCLA on Tuesday on freedom of speech. So I'm going to talk about freedom of speech next week, how we're being censored. Okay, so this is Kathleen Wells, the host of the Naked Truth Report, and be sure to join me next week. And if you want to see this show, the podcast of the show, go to the YouTube channel, the Naked Truth Report YouTube channel, and also click subscribe and share it and all that good stuff. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week.